All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mark the Pokedad. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Thanks for hanging out with us all of last week and the week before. If you haven't seen it already, check out some of the battles from last week where we used our Evil Tall deck. Also, check out our Sunday Fun Day where we used the Mew Shed Ninja deck. We racked up, I'm going to spoil it for you, 550 damage in one turn. It should have been doubled. It should have been 1100. The game glitched. I don't know why. It did not count the weakness. We should have hit 1100 in one turn. But it didn't happen. If you watched it, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, if you're just hanging out for the first time, there's a subscribe button down there. Just hit it for me real quick. Did you do it? Come on. Thanks. All right. So today and the rest of the week, we're going to be using a deck that I'm going to preface but with two things. One is I don't know how well this deck is going to work on stream. It's a tough deck to use in a best of one situation. It's more geared towards best of three play where you can take a long game one and win it in a long fashion and then kind of leave your opponent, only 5 minutes to win games 2 and 3. So at worst you'll draw, at best you'll win. More often than not, you'll just win a 1-0 set out of 3. And there's a lot of people that don't like the deck and don't feel like it has a place in the game, and I think it's a lock deck, and I think lock decks belong in the meta, in any meta. If you want a healthy card game meta, you need to have a variety of archetypes, and lock needs to be one of them, as far as I'm concerned. There's ways to beat lock decks, so you just got to be creative and find it. It's not like, Shiftry Donk or Lysander's Trump card, which basically just eliminated win conditions altogether. Yes, Sableye eliminates win conditions. It doesn't let you attack more often than not, and taking prize cards is a win condition. But there's ways around it. If you like, there is another YouTuber by the name of Ross Cawthon. He's a great player. He has PTCG Radio. I love his YouTube channel. I listen to it all the time. Great players, got great insight. He actually had an hour-long special just on this deck. Check it out. I'll link it. I'm not like buddies with Ross or anything like that, or he didn't ask me to do this. I didn't tell him I'm doing it. I'm a fan of his channel, so that's why I'm doing it. Also, two, this is a very preliminary breakpoint build of the deck, so I'm sure it could be optimized a whole hell of a lot, but this is just kind of a basic breakpoint build. So basically the deck is Sableye Garbodor. You're going to be using Sableye as your the only attack you're really going to say all day is Junk Hunt. That's pretty much going to be your main thing here. Junk Hunt, put 2 item cards from your discard pile back in your hand. More often than not, those cards are going to be Puzzle of Time. You can play 2, get any 2 cards back. So that allows you to get back supporters, any of these supporters. You can delinquent every turn. If you're so inclined to do so, you can. You can play your Life Dew after every turn. So if you have Life Dew on and you've Junk Hunted for 2 Puzzle of Times, it's going to be really hard for your opponent to take prize cards. Super Rod, kind of keep cards in the deck, keep you from decking out. Also, we have End for that too, because you're not going to take any prize cards as long as you keep more than 7 cards in your hand. You should never deck out. You should always keep the deck at 1 at least. But you have to play on every turn then, so you kind of want to stay ahead of that. But more often than not, Super Rod will get it done. Just keep shuffling in Pokemon and energy, because they will take knockouts. They just won't take prize cards, and that's going to be the big thing. And if you can prevent them from taking knockouts altogether, even better. And then you can start whittling them down with Trick Shovel. And initially, you're just going to use Trick Shovel to lock the top deck. If you see something useless to them on the top deck, leave it. If it's useful, discard it. So you're gonna lock the top deck, and then you're gonna lock off energies with all the hammers and Team Flare Grunts. It's really basic deck. A couple of techs in here. Bunnelby, this can help you get cards back into the deck. You can Rototiller more in if you're running thin. Jirachi, mainly for the Night March matchup. Night March runs a little hot, so it can get going pretty quickly. This basically shuts it down. If they're not running any basic energies, they can't attack. They're toast. That's the basic premise of it. And also, I teched in a Jirachi EX. I mean, it's not my tech. A lot of players use it. We're just going to use it for Stellar Guidance, trying to get Pokemon from your, trying to get supporters. So if you need a supporter, you have the option to get one with the Jirachi. So we'll hop on. We'll play some matches. Couple of things you got to keep in mind is Garbodor shuts off all abilities, not just your opponent's abilities. So if you have a Garbodor out, do not bench Shaman or Jirachi, please. I've done it a few times to myself while testing, and it's kind of mindless when you're playing TCGO. You're just kind of clicking haphazardly, and you don't really get the sense of like what's actually going on in the game. So it's easier to make misplays on TCGO, I feel like. You don't want to sit here and keep everyone waiting. So far, so good. This is a great hand. Initially, I'm going to use Puzzle of Time right off the bat to determine if I want to Sycamore, if I want to N. Okay, so we got a Pumpkaboo here. Night March is coming up. So realistically, we want to get our Jirachi out, and it's Vespiquen. So generally, these decks don't run a lot of basic energy. Usually it's just the standard double colorless. You really can't attack a Pumpkaboo with basic energy. You would have to make 2 manual attachments. It's tough to do. Well, you have to do that anyways for all the cards. But it's hard to do Night March with basic energy unless you're running Bronzong or something like that. And they didn't play any Shaman. And we got our Jirachi. So we could potentially get out a Silent Lab. Yeah, I kind of want to be able to get that darkness energy, so we'll play the Sycamore, or the Juniper, rather. I want it. I want it. Good. Okay. Let's see what's in here. The only item card we have is Puzzle of Time. So that's no good. I mean, I want a Junk Hunt, but I kind of want to keep that Puzzle of Time where it is. I mean, I guess I could just take it, right? It doesn't hurt to take it. Unless they end me. If they end, it hurts, but... no, they might take a KO this turn. I was hoping for a better draw off that Sycamore. It is what it is. There's a Dimension Valley. Here comes the bees. I really would like to get... if they attach double colorless and take a knockout, that's fine. We'll just promote our Jirachi, and then we'll... they are playing basic energy, but they've already discarded one. So how many basic energy can they be playing, you know? Already you can tell this deck's kind of weird. It's running Remoraid, which is going to be useless in a minute. Alright, well there's the first. And they're playing the Mew. Once we get Garbodor out, we're going to shut off their draw support. We're going to shut off Mew. We're going to shut off their unknowns. So getting Garbodor out is pretty important. I hope we can top deck something like an Ultra Ball. That would be great. Alright, this deck's going pretty hot right now, so we need to find an answer. I don't know if he has any Night Marchers in the discard, and he does, so there's that. We're going to promote our Jirachi. We have the Enhanced Hammer option. I would prefer to just try to top deck energy. Let's play the Puzzle of Time here and see what we're going to draw into. No energy, so I don't know if I want to do it. Here's the thing, though. We got to kind of hope for it, right? So I think we're going to end, because I didn't like any of those cards, and the other 4 after that, who knows what they would have been. I really want to get a Darkness Energy on here to start the Stardust lock. Yeah, they wouldn't have... I don't know what they would have been, but we'll grab an N here. Come on, energy. There it is. Okay, so we got the energy. All is well in the world. Attach an energy to it. Let's see what they're working with on the top of their deck. Yeah, that can help him out a little bit. So we're not going to let him play it. And then we're going to Stardust. Alright, so we're going to slowly whittle him away. But now he can't do any damage back to us. We have it locked. That's going to be... usually decks like this, they're going to scoop. More than likely. Because they know there's not a lot they can do. Unless, of course, he had like a Pumpkaboo. He attached a double colorless to the Vespiquen, waited a turn, attached double colorless to a Pumpkaboo, retreated, and then attacked with the bees. I mean, that's pretty much his only out, but then you're wasting another double colorless energy. It's not ideal. But if you attach to the bench, then I would just try to Crushing Hammer it away. But that's really your only out. It's not a great out, but it's an out. Alright, so next turn, we will probably end again because I don't want to get rid of this Floatstone. I don't know how many I'll have left in the deck. I really want to get Garbodor going. Alright, so we're going to end again. Especially I don't want to Juniper after drawing the Garbodor. I want to keep the Garbodors in my deck. I only have one puzzle at a time in the discard. Let's play another puzzle at a time here. Help us see what we can draw into. We got the Trubbish, so that's good. We'll attach to the Sableye, and then we will Stardust again. Really, this deck's not designed to take prizes, but I don't want to break the Stardust lock. If he wants to attach a double colorless energy to it, he's going to lose it. If he's going to try to go the manual route, I got the Team Flare Grunt here. Next turn, we'll probably Delinquent to get rid of his Stadium. So it's going to be even harder for him to attack. Here comes the town map. Generally, Night March likes to carry town maps so they can see what their DCE is. None of it's prized. He is going to go the route of manual attachments for now. That's fine. It's going to be tough to do when you don't have your Stadium to do it. Maybe we'll Team Flare Grunt it this turn. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Oh, he's got the Ram. Oh, but we're resistant to it, so that's okay. So it's going to take him another turn. 2 turns, actually, because we are going to... Actually, here. Because if he can now attach as a double colorless energy, he can break the lock because we won't be discarding a special energy. So I almost think we should retreat and Junk Hunt. Let's see what we have in here. Do we have 2 Puzzle of Time in here? We do, and then we can get those back in so we can get some more cards in the next turn. So we're going to do that. We're going to retreat to our Sableye. We're going to Junk Hunt. I want to get those Puzzle of Time back to give us some options the next turn. We'll have supporter options. We'll have... oh, did I not Team Flare Grunt? I meant to Team Flare Grunt. Oh, no. It's okay. Whatever. No big. I meant to Flare Grunt. Now he's going to get off a Night March. That's not what I wanted to happen. It's alright. Throwing a new Sableye here. Alright, so we are going to Compressor here. Now let's start loading up with some things we'll need. We'll need a Life Dew, of course. Crushing Hammer. And I want to get a Floatstone in there. Alright, so we're going to use this. We're going to get back our Darkness Energy here. Now, here's the thing. Do we get the Floatstone, or do we get something for draw support next turn? I think we kind of need draw support next turn. I'd like to get the Life Dew, but if he takes if he finds a way to take the knockout, I want to be able to draw. And right now, Juniper is going to be our best bet. Besides, we're gonna junk hunt back for two puzzle of time right now, so we'll have the options to get back Sableye and Darkness Energy should we need it. So let's take those puzzle of time. And that's what you're gonna junk hunt for every turn. Sorry, there's a yelling baby in the background. Happens. That's basically what you're going to junk hunt for every turn. You're going to junk hunt for those puzzle of time every turn. No reason not to. Alright, so he's going to take another prize card here. That's okay. We're going to be able to get him back in. We're going to lead Garbodor because if we hit our Floatstone like I think we're going to hit, we're okay. Hopefully we can hit a stadium too so we can block this from going down here. Those Night March. Dimension Valley is really the only reason he's able to attack right now. No, we want them to draw that for sure. That's not helping. Alright, let's play these. Okay. Alright, Sableye, Energy, Juniper. Well, there's the Floatstone like we thought we were going to hit. Let's kind of thin out our deck a little bit here. I kind of want to start hitting some hammers, so let's just get rid of all this stuff that we don't really need. We're not going to need Headringers. His Mew's already done. Shaman doesn't help us anymore. Ultra Ball probably doesn't help us anymore. And this extra Garbodor. Now we can always get him back with Puzzle of Time. So let's retreat here. We'll junk hunt. For our 2 Puzzle of Time. And then now next turn, because we have the energy in hand, or Puzzle of Timing, we can just get Sableye Life Dew. And then we're going to start blocking out prizes. And you know, it looks like we're in a bad spot, but really, I promise you we're not. Unless he wants to start Lysandering, which, you know, hopefully we can get an N or a VS Seeker here. That would be nice. We did get the VS Seeker, so he's got a lot of cards in hand. We're going to hit him down to 2 cards. And there's not going to be much else he's really going to be left to do. So here we go. Life Dew, Sableye. Okay, hopefully we can hit some hammers or something. Or a stadium would be nice off this N. But we're going to end him down to 2. Hopefully we can get rid of his stadium with a stadium of our own. We play a lot of them in this deck. It's just a matter of finding one. There it is, Parallel City. We got the Puzzle of Time. Let's see what we can want. Yeah, we definitely want the hammer. Another Parallel City, if possible. No, I think Parallel City's probably better for us. Honestly, because if he gets another stadium in play, then we can just counter it with our stadium. We'll retreat to the Sableye. We'll play the Parallel City. Now we have 10 cards left in the deck, so we have to start being careful with what's left in the deck. I'm not going to Battle Compressor anymore. We will just junk hunt for 2 Puzzle of Time. Alright, now hopefully he can't attack this turn. He's only got 3 cards in hand, and he did get the double colorless energy. That's okay. We're going to have a turn here of Jirachi, Stardust to counter that. We got our Puzzle of Times here for our Sableye. and the energy back. Okay. Alright, we'll get rid of that special energy, block all damage from the next turn. And then next turn, we're going to Lysander out that Mew EX, and we're going to start trapping. Unknown's not really going to help him. He's got one card in hand. Top deck is a bad thing for him right now. We don't want him to be night marching anymore, so we're gonna take that off. We'll Lysander this, and then we're gonna retreat to the Sableye, and then we'll junk hunt for our 2 Puzzle of Time. Got 8 cards in deck, so we probably should fish out next turn, depending on what happens. We should try to get more. Now we got 3 Puzzle of Time here, so we'll only need to get 1 Puzzle of Time with our Junk Hunt, which is nice to let us get another card in. So we should get the Life Dew out, and then probably I want to get another Hammer, because I want to. We got time to worry about the Super Rod. I don't see it in here, so we're probably going to play our Battle Compressor to get that in there. And if it's not in there, we might be in some trouble. But we're going to get our Life Dew for sure. And we'll get a Hammer. I don't want him to be able to power up. Play this. We'll just get our Super Rod in there. It's in there. We're fine. Oh, we didn't attach anything. Man, we are playing, like, dumber than dumb. And we didn't play our Hammer either, so that's bad. See, like I said, when you're playing TCGO, you just mindlessly click, and it's bad. However, he can't retreat and attack at the same time, so we're still in an okay spot. He's got Acrobike. I'm going to want to start top deck locking him too if I can. Which is what I'm going to aim to do here. Player Hammer. Nothing there. We got 5 cards left in the deck, so I'm not really concerned right now. We're going to play the Puzzle of Time. We'll play 2 copies. I'm going to get another Hammer. And we're going to get a Trick Shuffle, because I'm going to be worried about locking the top of his deck. So that's off there. Opponent's deck, what do we got? Double Colorless Energy. It's gone. See you later. And then how many cards do we have left here right now? 5. Super Rod gets us back 3. You know, it doesn't hurt us to play it, so why not? Just take back energies and Sableye. So have the ability to Zerasic, but that's only going to hurt us. So we'll Junk Hunt for our 2 Puzzle of Time, and then we will be all set to go for next turn to figure out what will help us. But right now we're in a pretty good spot where we can start top deck locking. Honestly, setting up another Sableye would probably be beneficial too. There's nothing he could do. He's just going to draw a pass. Which I kind of want to... He's building up cards, but I don't know what that card was, but it couldn't have been helpful. Else he would have just played it. What's in here? Part of me wants to get another Sableye and another Dark Energy, but I know I just put a bunch into the deck, so we'll just wait to draw those out. Does he have any energy in play? He does not, so we're okay there. So we're going to get a... We'll get a Head Ringer. Actually, no, Mew's not doing anything anyways, so we don't need to do that. We'll get a Trick Shovel here. And we'll grab another Crushing Hammer just so we have it on hand when we want to use it. Play the Trick Shovel. Look at the opponent's deck. Let's see what it is. It's a Joltik. I don't know how much that could really get him out of the jam he's in right now, so we'll let him have it. A draw support can really help him out. Obviously, his hand's not doing too much for him. And then we'll Junk Hunt and we'll end our turn. Thing about this deck is it is kind of boring to play. I will concede that. Our opponent's probably hoping to run us out of cards. It's not going to happen. So we knew we got the Joltik there. He doesn't have any energy. We're going to play the Puzzle of Time here. We're going to look for... We're just going to grab 2 Trick Shovel. And we're going to start trying to run our opponent out of cards. If we have them in here. Yep, 2 Trick Shovel. There it is. Alright. So look at the opponent's deck. Combi. Well, we're going to discard that either way. Play another Trick Shovel. Oh yeah, Lysander's gone. I don't want him to stall me. And we're going to Junk Hunt. Again, 2 Puzzle of Time. Pretty easy stuff. And that's pretty much the game. It's not the most exciting deck in the world, but as you can see, our opponent put on a lot of pressure early game, and you just can't panic. You got to know that eventually everything's going to be okay. We're going to grab with Sableye here, because I want to, and then we'll grab 1 Trick Shovel. I want to play it if we can. Also, too, we should probably worry about our deck. Nope, next turn we can get an Ultra Ball and start discarding some energy and things like that, so we can always have some to put back in for our Super Rod. Alright, play the Trick Shovel. Look at the opponent's deck. I don't know what he could really... How many cards does he have left in his deck right now? 10? I'll let him have the Joltik. You got to be strategic with what you discard and what you don't. We're running in at 10. He's running at 17. We still got plenty of time in the match, though, honestly, because it's really on him. We know he's drawing Joltik. He can't bench it. It's just sitting in his hand. Really, we want to get rid of any energies we see, Dimension Valleys, things like that. Alright, we got 4 cards in the deck here. We can just keep Ultra Balling away the Sableye and the Darkness, and then keep putting it back in with Super Rod when we're getting lower. But right now, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to grab the 2 Trick Shovels here, and we're going to see if we can't run them out of cards. And then next turn, we'll worry about the Ultra Ball to get it back in there. Well, we're going to get rid of the Mew regardless. Get rid of another card here. Let's take a look, see what it is. We'll let him draw it. Again, it's not helping him, and the card underneath it might, so... He can have all these Joltiks in his hand that he wants. They're not doing him any good whatsoever. We know he's not going to draw into double colorless energy because we know what the top card of his deck is. Right now he's at 7. We're at 4. Puzzle time. We'll get an Ultra Ball. And we'll get 1 Trick Shovel. Do we have an Ultra Ball? We should have an Ultra Ball. Why wouldn't we? There it is. Just get those in the discard so we can shuffle them back in with Super Rod. There's nothing in there anyways. Play the Trick Shovel. Let's see what we've got. Opponent's deck. Lysander. Don't want him to have that card. Again, because then he could turn us into a position where we're the ones that then have to stall. We could easily retreat, but I don't want him to have it. So then we'll Junk Hunt. 2 Puzzle of Time, and then wash, rinse, repeat. But we're in a decent position here. Our opponent has 6. We have 3 cards, but we're never going to run out. Next turn, we're going to Puzzle of Time for our Super Rod, and then we'll shuffle back in those Sableyes and those energies. Because these battles do tend to run a little long, you'll probably only get 1 per episode from here on out. I do apologize for that. I want to keep the stadium in play. I'm not going to delinquent. Besides, we know he's got a lot of cards in his hand he can discard that are pretty much useless. Alright, so we're going to get back our Super Rod and our Trick Shovel. Because we're at 2 cards, and I don't want it to ever get any lower than that, really, so we'll get in a Sableye 2 energy. We'll play the Trick Shovel. We'll look at the opponent's top card. Escape Rope, gone. We'll get rid of that. That could turn the tide of this battle immensely if he had access to that. Oh, we almost forgot to Junk Hunt. Gotta pay more attention when you're playing TCGO, because in real life you would never just say, okay, go ahead. You would make sure every turn you're going in there. When you're physically touching the cards, it's a lot easier. Also, I have like ADD of the wazoo, so like when I'm playing online, I just don't understand the functions of things. But right now we're in a pretty good spot where we can essentially just deck him out now. We're going to do our Puzzle of Time. He's at 3 cards. We're at 5. We don't really need to Super Rod anymore. We're going to Puzzle of Time twice. 2 Trick Shovels. Discard both cards. Junk Hunt again for the Puzzle of Times. Trick Shovel, good game to my opponent. I don't really see any way he can collect his last 2 when we have the life dues. I know he doesn't have access to Lysanders or energy right now. I actually expect him to scoop. We're going to keep the stadium we have in play. Silent Lab doesn't help us out anymore. The first one's going for sure. That one, we're discarding the top card for sure. The card underneath it, we don't know yet. Alright, so Trick Shovel. Let's look. Battle Compressor's gone, even though it's not really going to help him much this match. We still kind of want to run him out of cards. I've heard time seeing how the last card in his deck's going to help him out. Now, he's probably going to N, which would be terrible because it would give him a whole bunch more turns. If he does it, hopefully he doesn't have access to it. If so, we can then start wheedling those cards out of his deck. It'll just lengthen the game. It's not really going to do much to help him win it. He's out of cards. So next turn we can basically, if he passes to us, we'll just say good game and end our turn. Got an energy on it. Not much you can do. There's a VS Seeker. He's probably looking for the end. Did we not Junk Hunt? We got a little ahead of ourselves. Okay. If we junk hunted there, we would have been better off. We are going to delinquent. We're going to make him discard some cards. Yeah, see, get a little ahead of yourself. You just click enter instead of junk hunt. And after I just made that big long speech about paying attention when you're playing PTCGO, it is really hard to pay attention for me, anyways. But we are in a weird spot here. Was probably hoping for a Tails there. Tails would have been better off, but I kind of put myself in a position now where I made him discard a bunch of cards. I don't know what kind of energy he has. Yeah, he's just gonna pass. But yeah, I mean, total turns taken 19 turns, half-hour game time. You can see where it can be these long games where you don't leave your opponent a lot of room to have anything else to do on top of that. Ideally, you would want to make your full turns. Make sure you're checking your discards every turn, checking your opponent's discard every turn. I didn't really do a good job of that in this video, seeing what they've gotten rid of, but doing things like that can add to game time. I'm not saying to slow play, but make sure you know what's in everybody's discard, yours, theirs. Try to do like detailed counts of everything, so that way you know, okay, well, they have this in their discard, they have this in their discard, this is what they potentially have left in the deck, and it can help you make decisions with that trick shovel. Now, knowing that they played Night March and knowing how many special energies we had already got rid of at that point, and how many the regular energies we got rid of, I wasn't really too concerned with their discard pile because they all look pretty much like just a whole bunch of Night March attackers. In this situation here, a whole bunch of unknowns and combis and Vespiquens. But I pretty much gotten rid of a good chunk of their energy throughout the match at that point there. Let's see. Actually, let's take a look here and see how many energy they ran. I think we would have gotten rid of all of it. Oh, they run 10 energy in the deck. Oh, my God. Wow. Okay, that's a lot. And what are they? Only 3 Battle Compressor? And they run 4 Pumpkaboo, 4 Lampents, 4 Joltik, Octilleries, no Shamans. This is a weird deck, but yeah, we got the W on it. But thanks again for helping out, hanging out with us today. Tune in tomorrow for another match. If you have any suggestions for me for this deck, please leave it in the comments down below. Other than pay attention, idiot, that I know. Sorry. But other than that, anything constructive would be great. If you want to tell me how much you hate the deck in the comments, perfect. Please tell me how much you hate this deck. I love it. We can have a discussion about why you hate the deck, because if I was playing against it, I would hate it too. So leave it in the comments down below. Tune in tomorrow, see what kind of shenanigans we're up against then. And thanks for hanging out with us. Have a good rest of your day.